Every economic theory explained in 6 minutes. Mercantilism. This theory, dominant in Europe from the 16th to the 18th century, posits that a nation's wealth is measured by its stock of gold and silver. Mercantilists advocate for a positive balance of trade, encouraging exports over imports and supporting colonial expansion to acquire resources. This approach led to significant government intervention in the economy and was foundational in the development of modern capitalist economies. Classical economics. Emerging in the late 18th century, classical economics focuses on the concept of free markets, emphasizing that economies function best when left to self-regulate. Key figures like Adam Smith and David Ricardo argued for the importance of competition, the division of labor, and the invisible hand that guides economic decisions, laying the groundwork for modern economic theories. Marxism. Based on the works of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, Marxism critiques the capitalist system, highlighting the class struggle between the proletariat, workers, and the bourgeoisie, capital owners. It advocates for a classless society where the means of production are communally owned, aiming to eliminate exploitation and create an equitable distribution of wealth. Keynesian economics. Developed by John Maynard Keynes in the 20th century, this theory suggests that total spending in the economy, aggregate demand, influences output and inflation. Keynesianism advocates for government intervention to manage economic cycles, recommending fiscal and monetary policy to mitigate the effects of economic downturns. Monetarism. Championed by Milton Friedman, monetarism emphasizes the role of governments in controlling the amount of money in circulation. It argues that variations in the money supply have major influences on national output in the short run and the price level over longer periods, suggesting that managing money supplies is key to controlling inflation and economic stability. Supply-side economics. This theory posits that economic growth can be most effectively created by lowering taxes and decreasing regulation. Supply-siders believe that such policies will lead to increased production, jobs, and economic growth, arguing that consumers will benefit from a greater supply of goods and services at lower prices. Neoliberalism. Emerging in the late 20th century, neoliberalism advocates for free market capitalism, minimal state intervention, and the reduction of public spending on social services. It emphasizes privatization, deregulation, globalization, and the importance of the private sector in promoting economic growth. This school of thought, originating from the work of Karl Menger, Ludwig von Mises, and Friedrich Hayek, stresses the importance of individual choices, free markets, and the unpredictability of economic phenomena. Austrian economists criticize central planning and advocate for a minimal state role, emphasizing spontaneous order and the informational efficiency of markets. Behavioral economics. Combining insights from psychology and economics, behavioral economics examines how psychological, cognitive, emotional, cultural, and social factors affect economic decisions. It challenges the traditional economic assumption of rational decision-making, exploring biases and heuristics that influence consumer behavior. Developmental economics. This field studies the economic aspects of the development process in low-income countries, focusing on structural change, poverty, and economic growth. It seeks to understand how to create policies that will improve the economic and social conditions in developing countries. Institutional economics. Focusing on the role of institutions in shaping economic behavior, this theory emphasizes the importance of legal, social, and political frameworks in economic performance. It critiques the assumption of rational behavior in classical economics, arguing that institutions significantly influence economic outcomes. Environmental economics. This branch of economics deals with the economic impacts of environmental policies, examining the cost and benefits of environmental conservation and degradation. It explores how economic incentives can be used to promote sustainable development and address issues like pollution and climate change. Feminist economics. Challenging traditional economic models that often overlook gender disparities, feminist economics explores how gender impacts economic outcomes. It critiques the exclusion of unpaid work from economic analyses that seek to broaden the study of economics to include diverse perspectives and equity. Post-Keynesian economics. Building on Keynes's ideas, post-Keynesian economics focuses on the importance of demand in the economy, financial instability, and the role of uncertainty in economic behavior. It advocates for active government policies to regulate markets and address issues of inequality and economic instability. Comparative economic systems. This theory examines and compares the different economic systems around the world, such as capitalism, socialism, and mixed economies, analyzing their methods of production, distribution, and allocation of resources. It seeks to understand how these systems address economic problems and promote economic development. Circular economy. Contrasting with the traditional linear economy of take, make, dispose, the circular economy aims to redefine growth by focusing on positive society-wide benefits. It entails gradually decoupling economic activity from the consumption of finite resources and designing waste out of the system. Game theory. Often applied in economics, game theory is a theoretical framework for conceiving social situations among competing players. It aims to predict the outcomes of these interactions by considering the strategies of all participants, focusing on mathematical models of conflict and cooperation between intelligent, rational decision makers. Real business cycle theory. This macroeconomic theory argues that economic fluctuations are the result of real, in contrast to nominal, shocks to the economy, such as changes in technology or resource availability. It suggests that government intervention can often exacerbate these fluctuations rather than mitigate them. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn about every pandemic explained in 4 minutes, click here.